High up on the bluffs of Alton, Illinois, in Mount Lookout Park, sits a humble mansion. It is the McPike Mansion. It doesn't look like a mansion compared to others these days, but when it was built in 1869 for Henry Guest McPike, it was very much a mansion for the area. It is a 3-story red brick and white building with white pillars supporting the porch. It contains 16 rooms and a vaulted wine cellar. Henry McPike was born in Lawrenceburg, Indiana on July 6, 1825. The McPike Mansion would be where he would live out the rest of his days. McPike was a close friend of Abraham Lincoln and sat on the podium during the Lincoln-Douglas debates in Alton, 1858. He was also with Lincoln in Springfield when the telegram arrived informing Lincoln he would be elected president. McPike was a real estate developer, owned a box manufacturing company, and served as Mayor of Alton from 1887 to 1891. He was also a noted horticulturist. The mammoth McPike grape was developed at the McPike estate. The grape was patented and became famous for the wine produced. Henry Guest McPike died on April 18, 1910. After his death, the family muddled onward, but sold the mansion to Paul A. Laichinger in 1925. He used it as a boarding house. People would come and go, staying for short periods as room renters would do back then, especially during the Great Depression. The house became abandoned in the 1950s and was ransacked. They took the furnishings, woodwork, banisters, marble fireplace mantels, and even the toilets. The McPike Mansion was left a shell of its former self, tattered, torn, and partially dismantled. This was when the stories of ghosts started to come out, stories that the mansion was haunted. As the McPike Mansion now resembled a typical haunted house, it was inevitable that these stories would happen. Sharon Ludke, current owner of the house, feels that it is haunted by the ghost of Paul Laichinger, the owner during the boarding house days. Once while watering plants, she saw his ghostly figure in the window. She compared her sighting with a picture she had of Mr. Laichinger, and his period clothing seemed to match exact. Mrs. Ludke also speaks of an encounter with Sarah, a servant who worked during the mansion's glory days. She experienced a hug from this ghostly presence one day while working inside. She feels she knows who it was, as she found very old books while renovating that belonged to Sarah Wells in what would have been the servant quarters. There are multiple stories about the McPike Mansion. It's hard to sort through them all as fact or fake. But what we can surmise is that there is definitely something about this place, something odd, strange, chilling. So if you get the chance, visit the McPike Mansion in Alton. It will definitely be worth your breath to climb Mount Lookout Park.